guys, and welcome back to another video. So at the moment it's about 8 o'clock in the morning and I am just having my smoothie, my workout gear. I am going to be doing a half marathon today. One of my mates from the unit in the army is doing a 25k run for Make-A-Wish Foundation. So basically a bunch of us have said, oh, we'll just do it with you for like the morale. So that's what we're going to do today. And then I'm coming back at lunchtime, hopefully. We'll be done by then. And I'm playing cricket for the army. I've never played cricket in my life. So it's going to be a very packed day. I already fear how depleted I'm going to be this evening. I think I'm going to need a bath and like a very long sleep. Yeah, I'm basically just going to have my smoothie now and figure out how to pack all my gels and credit card into my free train running vest because there's not enough pockets on that thing, I'll tell you. If anyone wants to know, this is my go-to smoothie. I do 250ml of oat milk, dash of honey, banana, and about a handful of strawberries, but sometimes I switch the strawberries out and do it like blueberries, cherries, whatever I fancy. Very good smoothie. Oh, and my arm as well. I got my vaccine yesterday. Jesus. I was literally fine all yesterday, probably until about half an hour before I went to bed. And my arm started aching. Woke up this morning and I was like, oh my god. My mind is like, come on, it'll fit. Not really. I'm gonna have to drink half of it, I think. And I'm like, there's literally nowhere else I can go. I've basically got my GoPro in here and one of the gels. Really, I should probably have half that gel and then hopefully it will fit in this front compartment. I've got keys, mask, and a protein bar. Just in case, just in case. I'm gonna bring my headphones in case I want to listen to AC/DC to get me pumped up halfway through. Last sip of water. I'm just stalling now. Okay, I'm gonna go. Just at 10 miles. Last 2k, bloody everything hurts from the waist down. Feet surprisingly okay though. So, we're back, we're sweaty. It's time for the update of how the marathon went. Sorry, I'm just taking my grips out, don't mind me. I feel like I'm gonna lose them. Every time I use little like, you know, bobby pin grips, I feel like I'm just gonna shake my head like a dog and they're gonna fling out, even though that has never happened to date. The half marathon, crikey, like honestly, where do I begin? So the summary is, I am shattered, like I'm so tired. And I genuinely haven't felt that tired when I had finished the 25k like in years. Like it's just the feeling of I have absolutely nothing left in my body to give, yet I'm still going. I don't know how. Like I felt that I think from about 10 miles I think onwards. I just was shattered, like really tired. Yeah, and then I came back from the half marathon, got kit and went and played cricket for the regiment. Why? It just so happened it landed on that day and I thought it'd be a great idea. I didn't think I'd be that tired. I was wrong. So I think that has contributed to the exhaustion that I'm honestly now feeling and probably look shattered. So yeah, not wise guys. Talking more about the actual half marathon itself, like one, I am grateful that I had some people from my unit in the army running it with me, and obviously one of my friends from the unit was running this half marathon for charity anyway, so we kind of did it to join her. But so I'm glad that they were all there, and it just made morale, I think, a lot easier, because I wouldn't have given up if I was on my own, but I think there were moments where you're just shattered and you're like, oh my god, why did I do this? And then someone will just say something funny or make a comment or whatever, and you're just like, nah, like you just keep going, you don't think about it. So they kind of made life a little bit easier, having people there and seeing people running with you makes you run, you know, so that was good. We didn't really run, to be fair, the whole thing. Like we sort of like tabbed it, we did run bits. Like I'll put it on screen, the stats and stuff of what we did, because none of us are trained for this, bear in mind. So to be able to run like 15 miles off the cuff without any training, like you can't really do that. I personally only really run about 8 or 9 miles max for my long run at the moment. So I could have probably done that, but then after that, like, I'm exhausted. So we took it slow and sort of walked around, which in a way I think also made it worse, because if you're running, you can just sort of find your pace, find your breathing, and get a nice rate of recovery as you're running, whereas stop starting, and also obviously it's London, you've got to stop for traffic lights and people and stuff like that. That made it a bit of a nightmare. So in the end, I think it was like 3 hours or something, 2 hours, almost 3 hours. I don't know, I'll put the time here as well of what we did it in. So yeah, I kind of wanted to do it a little bit quicker than that. I think if we ran it, I would have aimed for about 2 hours, which is, I think, a good solid half marathon time, but obviously we didn't run it, so we ran a bit of it. But also that added up all of our little stops. Like, we ran round West London basically, so we got to Richmond, and I think that was about 12k, and honest to God, I was dying to go to the bathroom. If this is TMI, sorry. But literally I was dying to go, and I was thinking, okay, we'll get to Richmond, and if I knew that if I got to Richmond, that's like, because it was quite, not cross country, but like it was along the river, so there's no real places you could go. Whereas I knew if I got to Richmond, there'll be the tube or train station, and I was like, okay, I'll go there, and then I'll get a drink, and like that'll be that. So yeah, so that kind of ate into the time a little bit, and then I went to W.H. Smith and got like a Lucozade. So yeah, that is included in the time, but whatever, you know what I mean? You're obviously going to include stops, even if you did a full marathon. And also I was surprised that, obviously, it's kind of like twice the distance to what I'd normally run. My feet were all right, because I did have a few blisters beforehand that I just had because I bought new shoes and just generally like life. And my feet are quite delicate anyway. Like, I'm prone to get blisters, so if I'm going to do something like hardcore, I tape them up, and you can see that here, love, like that's what I did. I put a bit of zinc oxide tape on them, and surprisingly, the blister I had before wasn't really that aggravated, and my feet weren't really in that much of a bad state, which also a good thing, because genuinely I was expecting them to be like an absolute rag if I was running around like that, especially because it rained as well towards when we were coming back. So I was like, God, my feet are going to be wet and squelchy. It might give me blisters, but I was thankful that they didn't. The rain was actually a really big morale boost. I don't know if that's normal. We were all hot and sweaty and tired, and the rain just kind of cooled me down and made me just be like, yeah, come on. It was kind of like a nice little like, oh, just run in the rain, have the culture, have the experience, and then it's like by the time you've thought about it, you've only got a few miles left to go, so it wasn't too bad, I think. That was my thoughts on the half marathon. I definitely want to do one again, and I definitely want to train so I can get to the point where I can actually run a half marathon rather than tab a half marathon, I guess. So yeah, I want to do a half marathon. I want to do it in 2 hours. That's my goal. I did have that goal. It's like a resolution for this year, but I just feel like with training and stuff in the army, like I don't want to train for a marathon or half marathon, whatever, because obviously that's when you're more prone to get injuries. So I think I might leave it to next year. Besides the point. But yeah, I want to try and do one in the future, especially now that I thought mentally it'd be a lot harder than what it was, and it was actually okay. It's kind of made the half marathon running goal feel more accessible. But yeah, generally that's my thoughts on the half marathon. Overall, really enjoyed it. Obviously it's for a great cause, and running with my buds, and it was just a nice experience to do it on a Saturday and, you know, run around, burn the calories. I can justify now getting a really fat takeaway, having a bath, chilling out. That's my plan for the evening. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Also, if you've done a half marathon, you got any tips, or you're gonna do a half marathon, or you've got any running goals or experience or stories, I think it'd be really interesting to drop it in the comments, because then we can create a little like community forum-esque page and sort of like share experience and share stories and goals and what we want to achieve. So chuck it in the comments and I'll be interested to scroll through and read them all. So that's the end of this video. I will see you guys in the next one. I will see you guys next time. Bye.